dramatizing a fairy tale for the teachers' conference, the kindergarten class chose the classic rags-to-riches story, Cinderella.
You know how it goes. Shy, agreeable protagonist, victimized by an abusive step-parent, gets saved by a wise matriarchal figure who transforms her from codependency to bliss.
In other words, if you're good-looking, good at heart, and have a fairy godmother, you got it made.
It was a good choice from the teacher's point of view, because the story of Cinderella had so many characters, everyone in the class could be in the play.
A list of characters was compiled as the class talked through the plot of the drama.
There was the absolutely ravishing fairy Cinderella,
The evil stepmother,
Two wicked but stupid stepsisters.
The beautiful and wise fairy godmother.
the pumpkin,
nice, coachman,
the king, all the people at the king's ball,
Generals, admirals,
Knights.
princesses,
and of course, that ultimate object of fabled desire,
The prince.
Who, if you recall, was really only a salesman interested in pushing his inventory of blood slippers.
As the cards were allotted, each child was labeled with felt-tip pen and piece of paper and sent to the opposite side of the room while casting was completed. Soon, everyone had a part.
Except for one. One small boy who remained secluded from the selection process. Norman. A kid who was different. Not weird, just different in the way he looked at things. And like so many great but misunderstood thinkers, Norman was teased a lot by his classmates, causing him to live on the fringe of kindergarten society.
Well, Norman, what are you going to be?
Well, I'm gonna be the pig.
Pig? But, Norman, there's no pig in the story of Cinderella.
Well, there is now.
Norman did not relate to being a footman, a mouse, or a pumpkin. He knew his character, Pig, and he wasn't about to give up his part in the play and go stand against the wall where a loser would stand.
He intended to participate wherever pigs fit into the scheme of things, without giving up dignity or identity. He took it for granted that there was a place for pigs and that the teacher would know that.
So what do you say to a boy who's already thinking of a costume of long pink underwear, a pipe-cleaner tail, and a paper cut for a nose?
What do you say to an innocent little pig who doesn't see his career as an actor teetering on the brink of utter humiliation?
What do you say to all the pigs? All those who are different do not fit in little boxes and pigeonholes.
So what did teachers say at the moment? Well, sometimes kindergarten teachers talk more like fairy godmothers. See it?
Norman was declared the pig of the story of Cinderella.
It was quite fine with the rest of the class. Nobody else wanted to be the pig anyhow.
and since there was nothing in the script explaining what the pig was supposed to do, the action was left up to Norman. As it turns out, Norman gave himself one of the all-time best walk-on parts in the history of children's theater. He decided that he was Cinderella's personal pig. Where she went, he went.
He made no sound. He simply sat on his back haunches and observed what was going on, like some sadly supportive Greek chorus.
The expressions on his face reflected the details of the dramatic action. Looking worried,
Sad,
anxious,
hopeful, puzzled,
mad,
Bored.
sick,
And pleased, as the moment required.
There was no doubt about what was going on, and no doubt that it's important.
one look at the pig and you knew. The pig was so earnest, so sincere, so very there.
Norman created such dramatic tension that people who thought they knew how this story was supposed to end began to have doubts.
and at the climax, when the prince finally places the throne on Cinderella's foot, Norman finally made his move. He went wild with joy, dancing around the stage, barking like a dog.
The teacher tried to explain to Norman, even if there was a pig in the story of Cinderella, there's no such thing as a dancing, barking pig.
Well, there is now.
It's true, it's true. Knock him dead, pig.
The presentation at the teachers' conference was a smash hit.
When Norman danced his dance, the crowd of weary teachers laughed and wept and cheered.
And when Norman came out for his curtain call, the audience broke out in a spontaneous standing ovation.
The teachers were able to see that the real Cinderella was not the little girl with the blonde hair and button nose, but Norman, the dancing,
child on stage, waving her fairy wand, with the teacher, standing, weeping in the wings.
Kindergarten teachers know magic when they see it.
The kindergarten class got so many invitations to perform their highly acclaimed version of Cinderella that sometimes the teacher would have to explain what was so unique about it.
It has a pig in it, you see.
Oh, really?
Yes, the star of the show is a dancing, barking pig.
But there is no dancing, barking pig in Cinderella.
Well, there is now.